Hey, what's up you guys? It's me, True Brilliance, back with a video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about Mars, okay? We're going to be talking about that masculine energy and how it expresses itself in the natal chart. Now, your Mars placement is very important. A lot of the times it's often overlooked by astrologers or just by the average person when looking at your natal chart. But our Mars energy, it talks about how we express our masculinity, and it talks about how we go after our desires, how we go after achieving what it is that we want. So Mars actually plays a major role in manifesting. You know how when they say you put it out into the universe what it is that you want, right? So that's mainly like Venus. Venus is our desires as well. Venus is what we want, what we are attracted to, okay? So obviously what we are attracted to is what we want to experience in our reality. So Venus is kind of like a wish that we make. It's like a wish, us wishing upon a star. Like, I would like to experience this reality. I would like to experience this lover. I would like to experience this person, right? And then Mars is the actions and the steps that you take in order to achieve that, because you know how they always say you ask for something and then you have to take action. Okay, so Mars is the actual taking action. Okay, you just can't wish for stuff or want stuff but don't take action in your reality in order to get it. So taking action and the desire of wanting to obtain something work hand in hand. So Venus is wanting to obtain something and wanting to have something, because remember, Venus is I have, right? And Mars is how you go about getting what it is that you will eventually have, okay? So you have to take action in order to achieve your desires. So that is what we're going to talk about, getting into the Mars placements. Now, some people are really at a huge advantage when it comes to their Mars placements. In my opinion, the best Mars placements are Mars in Capricorn, Mars in Aries, Mars in Scorpio, and Mars in Leo. To me, those are the four most powerful Mars placements, okay? Now, the weakest Mars placements are Mars in Cancer, which I have, Mars in Cancer, Mars in Taurus, Mars in Libra, and Mars in Pisces, okay? I would say would be like the weakest Mars placements, okay? The weak Mars placements are strong in other areas, and I will talk about that when we get into the Mars series. So let's talk about rulership of Mars. Mars naturally rules Aries and Scorpio, okay? So Aries is external Mars and Scorpio is internal Mars, okay? So this is why they say Scorpio is intense, okay? So because it's an inner tension, okay? That's Mars. Okay, the inner buildup, the fire building up inside of yourself. It's passion. That's what Mars and Scorpio is. Okay, Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Okay, so Mars does very well in Capricorn. I think Mars in Capricorn is almost the strongest Mars placement. I've seen Mars in Capricorn in action, and it's very powerful. And Mars falls in, oh, it's in detriment in Libra, and it falls in Cancer, okay? And that's because Cancer is the opposite of its exaltation, and Libra is the opposite of its home, which is in Aries, okay? Taurus as well, because it naturally rules Scorpio as well, okay? So we're going to get into Mars through all of the signs for you guys to understand your Mars placement better and how your Mars energy expresses itself. One thing that you need to learn about your Mars is do not fight against your Mars, okay? That's not going to get you anywhere in life, fighting against your Mars. If anybody knows this, it's me with my Mars in Cancer. You have to learn how to go with the flow of your Mars placement, and you just gotta kind of accept your losses. If you have a weak Mars placement, you have to accept your losses and learn how to work within the energy of that sign, okay, if you want to get anything done at all. Mars also rules your energy levels, okay? So this is another thing that a lot of people don't know, is that Mars rules your energy levels, okay? So people that like have Mars in Cancer or Mars in Taurus, they have very low energy levels, okay? So they may need to exercise more or just do things to become more active because they can have low vitality. So when your Mars is in like a feminine sign, you can have low vitality. You don't have that much energy. People that have like Mars and fire signs, you'll notice that they're very energetic. They have a lot of energy to burn. Sometimes it's hard for them to sit still. Okay, Mars also rules our sexuality. People don't talk about this, but Mars rules how we express our sexuality, okay? Because if you think about it, the sexual act is something that is very Mars-like in nature because you're exerting your energy, right? That's why people sweat. That's why people are hot. That's why people are out of breath. That's why it feels like, you know, afterwards, like you just got done running miles, okay, at the park. You're tired, right? You're tired after it. So that's why literally Mars rules sex, and a lot of people don't know about that, okay? But Mars rules how we like doing that, and it also rules what we are attracted to when doing that, and what turns us on, what gets our fire going, because Mars is our inner fire. So it's our fire and desire. Y'all know what I mean? So this is what gets our engines going, okay? We are going to be talking about that as well when discussing the Mars placements. So now we're going to talk about Mars in Aquarius. Okay, now when we talk about Mars in Aquarius, this is a very interesting place for Mars to be. Honestly, I feel like it's an odd place for Mars to be. Mars in Aquarius, like Aquarius is this detached, fixed air sign, which is all about these ideas, these innovative ideas, thinking outside the box, being somebody that's eccentric, different, deviates from the normal way of doing things. And then you have Mars, which is your willpower, your sheer determination. So one thing that I know about Mars in Aquarius is that you guys can be very mentally determined and like stuck on your guys' ideas and fixated on your guys' ideas. So Mars and Aquarius person can really spar with you verbally, okay? Mars and Aquarius people have certain ideas in their minds and certain things that they believe in or certain mental stand on things, and they will spar with you about those things. And it's like, if somebody challenges their mental stance on something, this is somebody that will argue you down and will not let you get away with it, okay? Because most of the time they're going to come with the facts. So Mars in Aquarius is a very intelligent position, and they do use their willpower to show their intelligence and just how different and just how unique they are. When it comes to the actions that Mars in Aquarius takes, they're very rebellious. So this is one of the most rebellious Mars placements, meaning that they're very hard to control. Mars in Aquarius is going to do what the hell they want to do. So this is not somebody, like if you're in a relationship with a Mars in Aquarius person, just know that you're not going to be able to control them. They don't like being caged in, okay? They like doing their own thing. So it's like if you try to limit them in any type of way, they're going to rebel against you, and they're going to do the exact opposite of what you want them to do. So you have to let Mars and Aquarius roam free. You have to give them time to experience all the weird things that they like to experience and to experiment. Yeah, because Mars and Aquarius is very experimental. They like to try new things. A lot of the times Mars and Aquarius people will have a lot of tattoos. You'll see them wear their hair very unique, very different. They may have a lot of piercings because it's like when they feel caged in or when they feel like they need their freedom, they're going to go out and do something rebellious. That's just what they do. That's how they express their willpower. Okay, but back to Mars in Aquarius expressing itself mentally. So these people are definitely people that love to learn. So they may put a lot of their energy into studying occult matters. They may be really into astrology. So there may be a lot of Mars and Aquarius people watching this video, because Mars and Aquarius people can be very much into astrology. They like to put their energy into all of their different eccentric beliefs that they have. And so, you know, they like discovering new information and things like that. When it comes to sexuality, these people can be into a lot of off-the-wall things, or they may be very experimental, okay? So in the bedroom, they may like to try a lot of new things. These people may also be very open sexually. They may even be very unorthodox when it comes to sexuality or the type of people that they like. So a lot of people that have Mars and Aquarius can definitely be people that like same-sex relationships, or like polygamous relationships, or things like that, because they're unconventional, and they're unconventional in the way that they express their sexuality. So these are people that when it comes to the bedroom, you're really going to want to keep their interest, because they can get bored very easily with the same old, okay? They can also be people that's really into, like the men may be into dominatrix, okay? They may be into BSDM or whatever it's called, where you know, tied up, things like that. They may even really enjoy role play and things like that. Anything that can cause them to express their uniqueness through their sexuality, because that's what they like to do. Now, when it comes to Mars and Aquarius energy levels, their energy levels can be very erratic, okay? So these people are very unpredictable in their actions. You just cannot predict what it is that they're going to do next. So if you've ever been around somebody where it's just like, you just don't know what they're going to do, they're always doing like random things that don't seem to have any patterning to them, they may very well be a Mars in Aquarius, or even Mars in 11th house. It's like, I look at Uranus as being the lightning bolt. Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. So it's like when things just strike them, like they just get these ideas to do something, and then they just go off and do it. And it's like, of course, they like their freedom, so they may not even tell anybody about what it is that they're going to do. That's another thing. A Mars and Aquarius person rebels against authority. So they're not going to tell you what it is that they're about to do when they want to do it. They can just be out one day, hanging out or driving around, and they just a thought just may come in their head, hey, I want to get a tattoo today, or I want to go get a piercing or something like that. And they just may go to the tattoo shop and just get a big ass tattoo just out of nowhere, and come home and their spouse is like, what the hell is that on your arm? You just went and got a tattoo today? And they're like, oh, you know, I was just out shopping or whatever, and I just felt like, or I was just out driving and I just felt in the moment I wanted to go get a tattoo, so I just went and got one. You know, like that is Mars and Aquarius. Like, it's just, what? Like, just out of nowhere, they'll just do certain things because they have these impulses that just come to them, that just strike like a lightning bolt, and they just go out and do it because they always feel like they need to break free from something. So even if their life becomes too routine and it's like they're doing the same thing every day, all day, a Mars and Aquarius is going to start feeling like they need to rebel. So it's like they're going to go out and do something totally out the ordinary, just to make sure that they're staying in the eccentric energy, just to make sure that they're not conforming too much. So it could be a little bit crazy dating a Mars and Aquarius person, honestly, because like I said, this is not an energy that you can control. And keep in mind, both Taurus and Scorpio square Aquarius. And I really look at Taurus and Scorpio as being like relationship signs in a lot of ways, that are about control over their partner, or control over the other person, or possession over a person. Taurus is more about possession over a person, and Scorpio is more about control over a person's emotions and obsession with another person. And Aquarius squares those two energies. So I feel like in a relationship, it sometimes can be difficult, like dating a Mars and Aquarius, unless you have air energy in your chart, or you have Aquarius energy in your chart, which really are the best type of people for a Mars and Aquarius person to date. It's like other air sign people, or airy people, or even sometimes fire sign people, or other people that have Aquarian energy as well. So they understand Mars and Aquarius need for freedom, and need to, you know, be able to do what they want to do whenever they want to do it, because a Mars in Aquarius person will get very frustrated with someone that, again, is trying to control their actions in some sort of way. Okay, so keep that in mind. As far as what Mars in Aquarius puts their energy into, a lot of the times Mars in Aquarius can put their energy into social groups or put a lot of energy into their friends and their friendship. So these people may even put a lot of their energy into fighting social injustices, because they can be into humanitarian efforts and things like that. But Mars is also a combative energy. So people that have Mars in Aquarius can also get into a lot of fights with their friends or get into a lot of disagreements, especially if the people don't agree with their concept of things or their, thought patternings and things like that. Because again, Aquarius is very fixated on their mental state and what they, their beliefs are and things like that. So it can go either way. They can put a lot of energy into their friendships and humanitarian efforts in the group and things like that, or it can cause issues with the group. It can cause, fighting. It can cause people, coming at them crazy, large groups of people coming at them crazy and things like that. So it can go either way. It's really going to depend upon what aspects are being made to your Mars in Aquarius to determine what your relationship is going to be like with friends and associates and people of like mind. However, when it comes to fighting for what's right and social injustices, this is a very powerful position. Mars in Aquarius kind of acts like Mars in Libra in a lot of the ways, where they fight for what's right and they use their willpower to help to correct things in society that are wrong and things like that. So Mars in Aquarius can be very good for standing up for the collective and standing up for humanity and, doing things to protect certain interests when it comes to humanity and things like that. And even like unification of people and things like that, or fighting for a utopian world and things of that nature. So it can definitely be an energy that is really good for fighting social injustices. These people can be at the forefront of fighting social injustices. So I think that's one of the really great aspects of Mars being in Aquarius, okay? So anyways, that's pretty much all I have for Mars in Aquarius. If you have Mars in Aquarius, please put it down below. Let me know what your experiences are. Now, I do lastly want to say, this position does depend a lot upon house placement. So in some Mars videos, I'll bring up the house placement. In some Mars videos, I won't, because I feel like with some Mars signs, the house placements don't matter as much. The energy is still going to express the same. But with Mars in Aquarius, the house placements definitely will change the expression of this planet. This placement. I definitely feel Mars in Aquarius in the water houses will definitely change the expression of this energy to not be as rebellious and to not be as, making decisions last minute and just going off and doing things. Mars in the earth houses, they can be a lot more practical in their application. It can still deviate a lot from the normal way of doing things, but it's going to be more practical in its application, and it's going to think a little bit more before making hasty actions and things like that, or taking hasty actions. Mars in Aquarius and the fire signs can be really, really crazy and really out there, and can be very unpredictable, extremely unpredictable. And Mars in Aquarius in the fire houses can actually, you guys can get yourself in a lot of trouble, okay, with this position, because you guys can almost be too rebellious, and you guys can be confrontational as well, okay? But then it can also just be passion. You guys can be very passionate about your beliefs and things like that. Mars in Aquarius in the air sign, active energy. So communication is going to be something that's going to be very important for you guys. Definitely very opinionated and communicating your thoughts and things like that, okay? So I just want to add that in. So let me know what your experiences are down below. Let me know your commentary, house placements, all of that. And I'll see you guys on the next video.